Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and today, an interesting article popped up. Well, not today, yesterday. It popped up yesterday over on comicbookresources.com, and it's all about the rise of Skywalker. That's right, it's about the rise of Skywalker. There's been a lot of articles about it, right? There's been a lot of articles about it so far. We know that the movie is close to making $1 billion. It's going to be #1 at the box office for the third week in a row. And people who are fans of the movie are excited to see it have that success. Now, granted, it is trailing behind The Last Jedi, but that's not here nor there, nor is it important to this particular story. What I want to talk about today is this op-ed that appeared yesterday on comicbookresources.com by a man by the name of Dustin Pinney? It doesn't matter. But he penned this story. Star Wars, it's time to accept the real problem is the fans. Now, I'm a person who didn't like The Last Jedi. I've been honest and open about this for the last 2 years. I'm a person who very much enjoyed The Force Awakens and just saw The Rise of Skywalker for my third time in theaters 2 days ago. I enjoyed the movie. A lot of people out there enjoyed the movie, and a lot of people out there didn't. But this is some kind of weird article just attacking the fan base, and it doesn't even cite any real examples. Not really. Let's take a look here. We're gonna dive in. Now he starts off with a little bit of information about the franchise, because you know there's always that preamble. But he does go in to say, there are many legitimate reasons for not liking the recent Star Wars sequel trilogy. How you feel about the story is a matter of taste. The Star Wars franchise has existed for more than 40 years, and it means different things to different people. Therefore, any new installment is virtually guaranteed to face criticism because it's impossible to please everyone. Where Star Wars fans run into problems, however, is their extreme reactions to the new films. Now, that opening right there, that paragraph is perfectly fine. It's perfectly valid. It really is, because there are a lot of things to like and dislike about the sequel trilogy, and people are going to have their opinions. But here we get into the next bit of it. Fans lash out, not because the movies didn't suit their personal tastes, but because they offend their sense of identity. From review bombing to outright hate speech, the negativity swirling around Star Wars isn't coming from objectively bad filmmaking, it's coming from the fans themselves. Now, I do agree with a fair amount of that in regards to what I've seen from certain groups of people and the monetization of hate in regards to trashing a franchise and trashing a movie that people haven't seen yet. And I've been very vocal about that. But this isn't really referring to that. This is more of a defense pretty much of The Last Jedi. That's at this point what it really boils down to. Now, he goes on to say here, when looking at many of the criticisms of the sequel trilogy, a lot of unrest centers around what a fan thought or hoped would happen. Following the 2015 release of The Force Awakens, fans came together to theorize about a number of the film's unresolved story threads, including race parentage, Snoke's origin, and speculation regarding Rey and Kylo Ren's perceived romance. After 2 years of furious debate, 2017's The Last Jedi revealed Rey's parents were nobodies, unceremoniously killed by Snoke, and didn't allow Reylo to come to fruition. When the movie didn't go the way they expected, a vocal contingent of fans became angry. They review-bombed sites like Rotten Tomatoes, harassed the actors and filmmakers, and produced countless video essays chronicling the purported sins of The Last Jedi. Now, the review bombing on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, they've changed their system since then, and quite frankly, it needed to be changed. It was a bad meta system. But when it comes to, kind of attacking, it never let it be said that Rian Johnson didn't add to that before the movie came out. Because here he is right here with a, proudly displaying, by the way, a "Your Snoke Theory Sucks" sticker. Because there was that meme going around and he wanted to play it up. And yeah, your Snoke theory did suck if you happen to be one of the people who were spending 2 years in between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi wondering just who the hell Supreme Leader Snoke is. What is his part in all of this? Where does he stand? And Johnson just went zoop, cut it in half, literally cut it in half. That was another thing that angered fans, and here he is trolling people, which he likes to do. I have speculated before that this is one of the things that probably ultimately gets him off. Sad but true, in my opinion. But there's another thing here. where he deleted 2,000 tweets after James Gunn's firing. And this was brought up about him as well. He said he didn't want to do it to get ammunition. And this gets brought up as one of the ways that people are trying to defend Rian Johnson. Say, oh, well, Johnson didn't do anything here. He just didn't want to give him ammunition. No, they were diving into like every celebrity's past. This is coming from alt-right trolls that were not Star Wars fans, that were just trying to cause as much chaos in Hollywood, using Me Too and using all that stuff as a way to push their agenda. And Johnson just got out in front of it. Anyway, now this is where we get into some fun stuff here, right? Before the Force Awakens even released, this is where it gets interesting. John Boyega drew racist criticism because his character Finn was a black stormtrooper. That, you know what? I don't even think those were fans. Again, a lot of this stuff isn't from fans. They're just vocal idiots and jerks on the internet that aren't even fans. You know, they run around in their little circles and they try to cause as much, chaos and division as possible. A lot of third-party trolls. But of course, whatever here. None of that gets... Notice how there's also no real examples of these things being popped out there in the article. But it says here that with the release of Rise of Skywalker, Boyega is at the center of a social media firestorm for a joke about Finn laying the pipe with Rey following Kylo's death. And a lot of it stems kind of from this right here, where he posted this on Twitter, Star Wars romance in 4 images. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, he tweeted this out to have a little bit of fun. And then over on Instagram, Hey Fabrice here says, my boy after realizing Kylo died so he can date Rey. John Boyega here responds, it's not about who she kisses, but who eventually lays the pipe. You are a genius. Right? But what you have to understand about this is that Boyega and Daisy Ridley have a very solid relationship. Daisy Ridley, if you listen to her type of humor, this is the kind of stuff she jokes about. She'll talk about this in some interviews. She's not as prim and proper as many people out there are thinking that the character Rey is. Daisy Ridley is not Rey. She's not that character in real life. That's an act. She's playing a character in a movie, right? But how she is in real life, she frequently drops the C-bomb. And apparently she did on set for The Last Jedi during the throne room scene, which she did talk about in an interview, which I thought was pretty funny. But anyway, the Reylos are the ones you should be worried about if you want to talk about anyone who's just going over the top. Now, a lot of this seems like it was more of an attack on The Last Jedi fans, or critics, I should say. But when you start looking at the Reylos, this is where things get, oh God, because they get intense, right? They get real intense. This is one of the memes that popped up on Twitter following the events of the film. People were super upset at this because Reylo never happened. In fact, they were so upset. We get a collection of tweets like what I'm about to show you here. This is from @AYellowTrashCan. Says, now Zowie saw TROS and now she's going to bomb Lucasfilm. Right? And then you have Jennifer Heddle here, who works for Lucasfilm, saying, I wonder if I have to literally alert the FBI to threats against my workplace. And that is something that it, probably doesn't need to happen, but you can see there's a cause for concern. Look at this here. Anyone who believes that in order to make a good film, you need to kill important characters off for the shock value deserves death by my blade. Making J.J. Abrams pay for the damage he done is the hill I will die on. I want to cry, but I can't because I'm at work. All I can say is F you, J.J. Abrams. I hate you, BTCH. Watch out. You ain't ever getting forgiven for this. F you, J.J. Abrams, F you, you mother effing piece of F. I hope you get stomped to death by a herd of goats. I mean, look at this here. Like, F you, Disney, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Star Wars. I really wish I could show you a painful death like this trilogy. You effed up the story. You effed up everything. You suck. Money does not mean everything. I mean, it goes on. Look at this one here. It says, F you, J. This is just like, F you, F you, F you, F you, F you, J.J. Abrams. This one woman here, I managed to sleep 5 hours today, the most since last Tuesday, still crying. At J.J. Abrams, at Disney, y'all just think about standards you're setting for girls, telling them not to stand up to their abusers, telling them that it means treating them like trash and physically and emotionally harming them is acceptable. F you. I mean, it just goes on, right? Look at this. At J.J. Abrams, I'm gonna kill you just like you did with Ben. Tell them here, I'm gonna kill J.J. Abrams with my own hands. I'm gonna kill, I'm gonna kill that mother effer. I will find you and I will kill you. I mean, like, so many people here, right? I want J.J. Abrams' head on a platter. I'm gonna murder J. I mean, like, all of these people, freaking out. Anyway, None of that's mentioned in this article by Dustin Piney, whatever. None of that's mentioned in the article whatsoever. It's all about the Last Jedi haters, right? You want to talk about the fans? He's pointing it at the wrong way. And I don't even think Reylo fans are really fans of Star Wars. They just like a tragic romance. Anyway, he finishes up here by saying, at the end of the day, however, fans don't control who's cast in a movie. The story writers decide to tell or how we feel about it. The only thing we can control is our actions. Deciding on to act in a way that shames people, threatens someone's safety, or harms them in any way is unacceptable. These space fantasies about aliens and robots and magic didn't force any fan to disrespect others. The fan made that choice. Yeah, but again, nothing in this article is about the Reylos, who are more vocal, in my opinion, and more out there and more crazy than anyone even remotely associated with the Phantom Menace. And I'm not a fan of the Phantom Menace. I call them out frequently. But the Reylos are downright disturbed. Finishing up here, it says, since 1977, Star Wars has delighted and inspired countless millions. The saga that of that magical galaxy far, far away has touched the hearts and viewers from all walks of life. For a long time, women and people of color didn't get to see themselves as part of that world. Now they can sit in a theater, look up at the screen, and see people like them being heroes and saving the universe from the single-minded oppressors who may have tried to keep them down in their own lives. If that kind of representation or inability to accept story choices that weren't yours prevents you from enjoying the movie, Star Wars isn't the problem. But the thing is, you have like Lando, you got Leia, you got Mon Mothma. There are characters in the original trilogy and in the prequel trilogy that were not straight white men. And of course, that doesn't get brought up at all. This is just one of those apologetics articles that's trying to defend The Last Jedi, going after the critics. It's been 2 years of that, but completely ignoring the craziness that comes in from the Reylo audience, completely ignoring all of that. And that's really frustrating to look at, because you've got a situation here where you can be critical, and the crazier over the top people on one side are being chastised completely for everyone, when you've got literal death threats coming in from this younger audience of people that are upset about a bad romance versus bad characterization and bad storytelling. And that gets ignored. I just have to ask the question, Dustin Piney, how much are they paying you? Not that I believe it. I don't believe you're being paid, but I believe you're misled. I believe you're absolutely misled. However, I leave it to you, your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys like the video, please do me a solid and support it on Patreon. $1 a month, man. Just $1 a month helps keep this thing afloat. If you like this kind of content, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo really does help out. Also, subscribe. That's always a good thing. If you made it this far too, go ahead and hit that like and type Reylo into the comment section so I know that you know what we all should be afraid of. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to keep the conversation going, and if you made it this far, you clearly do, come on in and join the Discord. Link is in the video description. Can't wait to see you there. Have yourself a great day and peace out.